And then I'll keep an eye in case anybody else comes in. So we're talking about drawing people today, and I'd like to know from you guys what comes into your head if you think about things that are challenging when it comes to drawing people. Does anybody have anything that's kind of hard for you? For a lot of us, hands and feet can be pretty challenging. Yes, Hudson?
I feel like the hands are hard.
Right? Yeah, I think so too. Okay, hands are hard. Let's get those on our list here. Let's see. Anybody else have anything that you find challenging when you're drawing people? Okay. All right, so let's add hands onto our list here, just so we have a little record. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and get our attendance here and just get a list of who is here. We got Jack coming in, Sam, yes, go ahead, we'll do Sam and then Parker.
The bodies.
Bodies, yep, I agree. Hey, Jack. Hi.
Hi.
Jack, you know what we're doing? We are talking about drawing people today, and we are asking each other what is challenging when you're drawing people. What do you find challenging? We got hands so far, body, and then Parker is up next. Yes, Parker?
I always think the pants is so hard.
Hands, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's echoey in here.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's echoey in here.
It's a little echo, yeah. Let's see. So we got hands, bodies. All right. And while we're doing this here, I have Sam, I have Ellery, Parker, Hudson, Mina, Poppy, and Jack. All right. Oh, and there comes Celeste, I think, is coming in. Make sure she's in here too.
I'm gone. You can't see me.
Oh, we lost Sam. Hey, Celeste, how are you?
Stop that. Okay, I've already told you that. You need.
Okay, so you guys, when we are talking about drawing people, we are going to factor in the things that we just talked about. So Sam says bodies. All right, right, for Sam's, for body parts being challenging, right? And then we have, let's see, Celeste coming in. What would you say, Celeste, is anything for Celeste or Jack, either of you, if you have something you want to throw out there, that is challenging whenever you are drawing people? And it doesn't have to be a person that's super realistic. It could be a cartoon person, a superhero, a character of some kind, okay? Does anything come to your mind that's challenging about that? Whoops, you know what, Celeste? You're super muffled. Do you have headphones plugged in or anything? You're really quiet. I can't hear your voice. You've
just Celeste.
You have the other.
Can you chat? Can you like put in your thing in the chat?
I'm sorry, Celeste. We just can't hear your voice. It's really, really, really soft. It's hard to hear it. I'm sorry. Can you yeah, if you put in the chat what you find challenging about drawing people, and then hey, Kaden, how are you? Or, I'm sorry, Cameron. Oh my gosh, I had Kaden in my last class. I'm sorry, Cameron.
Oh my! How many times are you gonna get his name wrong?
Parker, I knew you were gonna call me out on that. I just had Kaden in the last class. Hey,
Cameron.
I know. Hi, Cameron. How are you?
Immediately, you just say it wrong.
I'm sorry, Cameron. All right. So Cameron, we were talking about drawing people today. Drawing people. I might have to go in if the wind's picking up a little bit too much. But we were talking about drawing people, and we're talking about what about that is challenging. For most of us, drawing people is pretty tough. There's little hang-ups on hands and feet. We got pants and bodies. So if there's anything that you want to add that is challenging for you about drawing people, go ahead and you can raise your hand or you can chat it. And we're going to do a demo today. We're going to touch on this throughout the trimester because it's a tough subject. It's a lot of things we can talk about when drawing people. So we're going to do some demos throughout our trimester about it. And so we can just keep getting better and better, but we don't get it all at once and get super frustrated about it. Okay? All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Cameron. Okay, so I'm gonna start doing some drawing with you guys. And there's a couple things that I wanna touch on today, and not to mention what we're talking about here that you guys were saying. And the first thing I wanna talk about is our clothes. When we are drawing a figure, if we draw the clothes a little bit more accurately, or we pay attention to more details, then our figure starts to look a lot more realistic. So I wore a long sleeve shirt here. So you guys can see if I have my sleeve and on my elbow, see how these wrinkles on my fabric are kind of curved like that, and they're coming out right from my elbow. So if you're drawing and you add those little folds, that's gonna make your drawing look a lot more realistic. Same thing, this cuff here, the edge of my shirt, you can see the buttons, you can see the seams. So all of that is really helpful information when we're drawing. I'm gonna show you an example. Okay, I'm gonna show you an example. And I would love for you guys to draw with me. You don't have to draw exactly what I'm drawing. If you have another character that you're working on and you want to try to use some of these tips while you're doing it, that is great as well. All right, but we're going to work on these concepts a little bit. So the first thing, if I have an elbow, an arm and an elbow, basically. So if I draw it, if I draw it like that, I can kind of see it might be an arm, but I don't have that much information. I don't have that many details. So maybe if I take that same arm and I take a couple of creases, couple of wrinkles right there in the elbow, you can see that closer, and then I have the edge of the sleeve come out. Maybe I draw a cuff on it. Maybe I could see the seam, which might look like some little dots, right? Because you can see where the fabric was sewn together. Maybe I have my little button there. And now I'm starting to say, oh, okay, I think that's an arm. Yes, Parker.
Can you do like an animal / human?
Totally. I'll see if we can get to that today. You are more than welcome to go ahead and start on it if you want to take these clothes and put them on an animal. But we'll talk about that at least a little bit by the end of the day, okay? Ooh, you are, Celeste. Good for you. You are one of the few. Yes, hands is pretty hard. I would agree. And we're going to touch on those for sure. That's another thing that we'll be coming back to, but we'll definitely get started on today. So I want you to start paying attention whenever you are looking around just at your own clothes or at other people's clothes, the way you see those folds in there and the details that you see, the buttons, that kind of thing. Now, while we are on this subject, I'd like to touch on what Parker was talking about with the pants. Yes, Cameron?
Can we make like short sleeves instead of long sleeves?
Yeah, and why don't we actually talk about that too? So let's say that I have an arm coming out this way, and I've got my elbow, short sleeve. Let's just start like that, right? Just kind of the idea. Now this, I don't really understand quite what's happening. Might be an arm with a sleeve, but if we take the shoulder, and let's say that we have the bottom of the sleeve come down, and depending on the shape of the person's shoulder, it might be a little bit more rounded, right? But then we have the arm come down this way. Let's say it's peeking out. And then this cuff, you're probably gonna see it wrap around the arm a little bit. You see that? So if you're doing a short sleeve, a lot of times you can see that little edge where it goes around the other side of the arm. So if you add that, that's gonna help us to see the clothes a little bit better. I'll get it really close in there. See that? It's just a little edge where it's wrapping around. So that's called wrap around, basically, when you're talking about art and you're talking about drawing clothes. that kind of wraparound shape is also around the neck. If you have a collar on your neck, you're gonna wanna show that wraparound there too. So instead of just having a straight line, it would be a little rounded. Maybe you can even see it tucking behind the neck. All right, and with this kind of drawing, we have to work pretty hard because we have to concentrate. We have to think about these details we're looking at. So if at any point during this lesson, you feel like you got to get up, you got to shake it out, you got to draw something loose like a flower or a cloud, you can always do that too. I want you to keep in mind that if it starts to get frustrating, take a minute to shake it off and get up, okay? Let's see, Hudson, did you have something you wanted to ask? Nope, okay, yeah.
Are we going to draw a whole person today?
So this is the thing. I am going to go over some of these details with you. I'm going to give you a choice. You can do it with me, and you can go over the details, or if you want to start working on your own on a whole person, you can go ahead and start working on that and try to incorporate some of these things. Okay, because everybody works a little bit differently. For some of us, we really want to follow it, right? That sound good? Yeah, some of us really want to follow it line by line and do it the exact way, but some of us like to go ahead and get started on our own idea. So that I'm happy to have you do that, and either way is all good for me today. All right, so I'm going to leave this up here for another minute just in case anybody is still looking at it. Before we get going on some of these other concepts, we're actually going to go into pants next, like Parker was talking about. All right, and as I go into pants, I'm going to see if I probably can keep a little of this still on this.
You called me Harper.
No, I didn't. I said Parker. I think you're
said Harper.
I said Parker.
You said Harper.
I don't even think so because I don't even have a Harper that I'm thinking of. So I am positive I said Parker. Whoa, look at that, Cameron. Wow. You already got your whole person started. Nice. Nice. Do you have anybody in mind, Cameron, that you're drawing, or are you just making them up as you go?
Just making them up. And that's looking what you make.
Yeah, cool. I like
and it's also in my mind too.
Nice. Yeah, I like to make things up as I go also. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to try to keep this up here at the top while I go into some details on pants. All right. So Parker was talking about pants. If we were to do basic pants, we would just see the shape, right? All right, so we don't get a whole lot of information, but if we go through and we give ourselves maybe a waistband, maybe you can even see, depending on the pants, there might be a little bit of a overlap from a button or some kind of clasp in there. And then when you draw the pants, you can draw the legs of the pants. Maybe if they're long pants like jeans, maybe they kind of have a little bit of wrinkles at the bottom, right? Because a lot of times if you look at your own pants, if they're a little bit looser, they have some wrinkles. Maybe even there's some lines going across at the bottom. They get kind of gathered up down there. Now, if you had a knee that was bent, you would probably see, let's say that this leg is coming over this way and then bending back this way, you'd probably see those wrinkles again. All right, so start to notice anytime that you have a joint that's bent like that, you usually see those wrinkles in the fabric. Go ahead, Hudson, no worries. Whoa, Harper is going to town. She's already got her cat people.
Now you said Harper.
No, I didn't. It's Parker.
No, I heard that. I heard that, Harper.
That you're.
You definitely said Harper. Told you.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I did my cat with my cat person.
Nice.
Now I just want to do free loose drawing.
Okay, that's fine. You can do loose drawing. And that goes for anybody. If you ever get kind of stuck on this or you just are done and you want to keep going with loose drawing, you can do that. I'm going to keep doing demos for us so that we can keep thinking of these things to incorporate in our drawings, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed with it or feel like you're stuck in it the whole time. Hudson, did you say something?
Yeah, my mom just said, I'm gonna watch this video, the rest of it. I need to go to Reno and I'm gonna bring my computer to watch you while we go to the store.
Good. So Hudson, the only thing is this isn't going to be available until after it finishes processing. So if you want to
Okay.
look on your school website, you can look and see. You'll see the ones that are there from before, the previous ones, and then this one will be there a little later this afternoon. Okay, this afternoon or this evening. It'll be there by the end of the day. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to practice any of this, you can. If not, just wait till you can watch it. I'll see you later, Hudson. Thank you for telling me. Okay, so with our pants, depending on what kind of pants we're wearing here, another detail that we could add could go up and make maybe that little seam where the zipper is, right in the middle. And that's generally if you have like jeans or maybe like some kind of pants that have a zipper or buttons in the front. A lot of times there's a piece of fabric there. You could also draw individual buttons or a drawstring, you know, like with sweatpants, sometimes you pull that string and then the fabric gathers up. Yes, Parker.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, go for it. You're all good. Thank you for telling me. All right, and then another thing that we can add on pants, another little detail that is nice, I think, is to add some pockets. And the pockets is generally just a little curved line. Depends on what kind of pants it is. The pockets might look more defined on some than others. But pockets are nice too. How are you guys doing so far? And remember, you can use as much of this as you'd like in your drawings. You can do exactly what I'm doing, or you can do freestyle and start working on your own person and just thinking about these things. Is everybody doing okay? Yeah, good.
I'm free draw.
You're doing free draw? Perfect. Sounds good. And then also, just like Hudson was saying, this video is going to be available too, so you guys can watch it. If you're like, oh, what did she say about the pants? You can go and you can watch it, and it's there for you guys too. Okay. I'm going to leave this up another minute or two before we go into our next drawing, because this is going to finish out this page for me. We'll be starting on another page. We'll wait for Parker to get back from the bathroom too. And also, if you guys are wanting a break from drawing and you want to do some kind of coloring in, if you want to use some colored pencil or marker or anything like that, you're welcome to do that too. You can start to fill it in also if you'd like. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this paper down and I'm gonna switch. You guys are working so diligently today. It's really nice, nice work, nice concentration. Ooh, let's see it, Cameron. Oh, wow, yeah. You got most of your person already done. Wow, nice.
I'm back with snacks.
Ooh, Poppy, whoa. Did you do that with like one of those spin, like wheel thing?
Yeah, I did it with Spirograph.
Wow, so Poppy, you like to do a lot of stencil stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. That's interesting. How have your horses been coming?
Oh, good. I've also been working on.
Oh, nice pattern, Celeste. That's really cool. What? Oh my goodness, Poppy. That's so cool. What a cool page. That's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. So I'm gonna hold this up one more time, and then we are moving on. This was our clothes. And remember, the video will be there. You can also look back at this too. We had the wrinkles in the clothing. We're starting to think about those. We're starting to think about buttons and seams and sleeves, all those little details. And you can start to pay attention to them when you're looking at yourself or when you're looking at your family. All right, because we all are wearing clothes most of the time. And we all have a lot of those things going on, those wrinkles in the fabric. Let's see. Whoa, Ellery, what you got? Whoa, did you just do all that right now? You did do it yourself? That's great. Yeah, and you have the sun in there too. Yeah. Cool, Ellery. Thank you for showing me. That's really nice.
And my foot is actually the floor, so I can run.
Yeah. Wow. You thought about that a lot, huh?
I just kind of added the picture a little bit.
All right. Thank you, Ellery. Let's go over to Parker. Yes.
I'm now making another tree.
Ooh, we're already on round 2. Nice. That's an interesting tree. It looks kind of like a bonsai tree. Have you ever seen a bonsai tree before?
Yeah.
Kind of like that, like branched out with those really cool, wide looking shape. Okay, so let's see. Sam, yes.
Do you know about the break coming up in a few weeks?
So the fall break for October?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Do you need the dates of it? I think I have it right here.
No. But I might go down to Arizona.
Ooh, that's
It's actually gonna be real good.
My dad used to live in Arizona. My dad's
We're gonna
dad.
go to Tucson.
My dad's dad lived in Arizona, and he was in Tucson, but sadly he died.
yeah.
My dog died yesterday.
Already?
I heard about that, Sam. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Sam.
I know how that feels, and that is really, really tough.
You're gonna need to have a lot of notes. A lot of notes.
Yeah, you do.
You should get a nice, happy
Thing.
new puppy. That's why you should get a puppy.
Yeah, my mom and dad have been saying not for a while.
Oh, I don't get a dog until my cat dies. First, they said once I fully learned how to clean my cat's cat box, and I already did that, but now they're not giving me this. They keep on making me excuses. No. I'm like, just give it up. I know you hate dogs. They literally do, and I don't. So they finally said that they would give me a puppy once my cat dies, and that's gonna be like in forever.
I'll be visiting you almost every day then.
What? Yeah. We still have a puppy.
I visit.
I know that's super tough. If anybody wants to send some notes to Sam, please do, because that is a really tough thing. Let's go, Ellery, and then.
This tree is gonna be a note.
Yes, Ellery? I'm having a tough time hearing you, actually, Ellery. Try again. Hang on 1 second, Ellery. You guys, is that me, or can you guys hear her talking?
Yeah, that's not just you. That's not just you. It's me.
I can't hear her either.
Okay. Ellery, you know what? I'm having a really tough time hearing you. Do you think that maybe you could put it in the chat? You want to put it in the chat? I just can't. Thank you. I'm just having a tough time hearing. Thank you, Ellery. Let's see. We'll go Cameron, and then we'll go over to Jack.
My dog's still alive.
Yeah. That's a really lucky.
He's 14.
14.
Mhm.
died because he had cancer.
My dog has cancer and she's still alive.
Well, she must have got that.
She got it when she Cameron, stop bragging. Don't you think Sam is sad enough yet?
I think it's probably
Not that time.
for both of you guys, you might actually have some nice words for each other, because that's a tough thing to go through either way. For your dog to have cancer, even whether he's alive or not, that's really, really tough. I think it would be really nice to anybody who has a second to send a little note over to Sam or to Abby, because I just know that's so hard, and I remember what it felt like with our dog, and I just know it's really, really tough. So
I'm making a note right now.
thank you, Parker. That's really sweet. Yes, Poppy.
My cousin's dog had cancer and he died when he was 1 year old.
Oh no. I think we've all had those kind of stories close to us, huh? Really, really tough, really sad. Let's see.
My mom's cat died because she was too sick and then she just gave up. The cat just gave up. It's just like, I can't work anymore. I can't work and help my body anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
So the cat just gave up and passed away.
Let's see, Jack.
My dog died about like a year ago. And can you teach us how to like draw the head and like neck?
Wait, Jack, was it one of the two dogs that I saw before? Or was it a different dog?
Yeah, but they didn't die. There's
Both of them?
alive. The black and white ones. What? I still have the two chihuahuas.
Oh, you still have those two. It was a different dog?
Another dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw two chihuahuas because we had a work play day, basically, because they had to, my dad and someone from Jack's house had to work, so we just had a play day. And I got interested into the dogs, so they introduced me to them.
All right. Well, I think thank you everybody for sharing. I think that it's really a tough subject for a lot of us to talk about, because I think we've mostly been through it or had a dog close to us that we've gone through that with that too. So I just think it's really nice for us to be able to talk about it a little bit. So thank you everybody for sharing. And Jack, I think we're gonna go ahead. We did the pants. Let's go into what Jack was talking about. We'll do like the head and the neck, and we'll talk a little bit about hands too. And let me go ahead. I'm gonna get our new sheet ready, and we'll get started on that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so going into the head and the neck. The head, there are whole classes about the head and the face because there's so many things, right? We got our eyes, we got our nose, we got our mouth. There's a lot to cover there, right? But we will go a little bit into our head, going into our neck, and what we want to keep in mind about that, okay? And, oops, okay. So when we're drawing the head and the neck, one thing that you notice is your neck is going to be a little bit thinner than your head, right? So your head's here, and then a little bit thinner is your neck. There's Mazzy back there if anybody wants to say hi. Hey, Maz. Hi, everybody. So
Hello, Mazzy.
Yeah, see,
Hi, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Sam, get your sister. Let's see what happens between the two of them.
Yeah, it's nice to have some special appearances, huh? While we're all at home.
Oh, there comes Abby.
There's Abby. Look, Mazzy, it's Abby's in there.
Mazzy. Oh, wait. Where did Abby? Come on, come hang out. Nope. It's just like, nope, no hanging out.
He's a bit shy.
That's okay. Nazi can be a little bit. So head and neck. So with the neck, you want to keep in mind it's a little thinner, right, than the head, and then also, the collar wraps around the neck. See that curve?
Mommy,
So we'll do an example here.
Draw
You want to draw two? Here, why don't you grab your markers on the floor right there and some paper.
Wait.
Okay.
Yay, now there's a mini helper.
Right, we have an assistant today. So when you're doing your neck, let's just say we'll just do the bottom part of the head because we'll talk about the head separately. But usually for the top, where we have the head, we have the chin, right? So it's usually gonna slope down a little bit, and the chin is a little bit rounded, right? Something like that. Just thinking of the bottom portion.
It's like a U.
It does look like a U, kind of like this, right? Just that shape. A little bit like a U. Can you feel it on your own face, Parker? Yeah? So that shape, we're just gonna start at the bottom, and then Moopy's the the paper. You can just have one right here. Okay?
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
I'm working on.
There we go.
I want to do what you do.
Okay.
There you go, Sam. How am I going to give this to you, Sam? I don't think I can give the note to you, Sam.
So then the neck, when we go down to the neck, we're going to go in a little bit. It's not all the way on the outside.
I'm doing it.
A little thinner. And you know what's kind of goofy? When you are drawing these things, you can think about, I know you guys study sometimes the bones and the muscles and all the systems that are inside your body. It actually helps to think of those things a little bit when you're drawing, because if you have the skull and the neck, you think about how the skull's bigger, right? And then the neck is thinner. So think about this here too, depending on the kind of stature you have, the neck might be, there you go, Moops, looks good. The neck might be a little thicker if somebody's really strong, you know, if they're really stocky, it might be a little thicker.
A different neck.
And then if you have a collar on your neck, let's just say we have a collar coming down, the collar is going to wrap around. So you can take that collar and you can have it wrap around the back. See that? And it's just showing that that fabric's wrapping around. They're just little details, but it does help you to make your drawing look a little bit more realistic.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Mom?
Yeah?
I made a different kind of wrap around. Do you want to see it?
Sure. Whoa, cool. Do you guys want to see Mazzy's too?
And I made
Here we go.
I made a neck different.
There we are. She did a little different style there.
I made a different neck.
Yeah. Hey, Abby. All right. So.
There comes the, there goes Crazy Abby.
Abby.
Oh, cool.
You look like a blur, Abby. All right. So there's that. And then if we come down, we can see some little buttons maybe. You can add some extra details on there. Right. Depending on what kind of shirt it is. Now, if that shirt was just a t-shirt, then we would probably have kind of a semicircle like that, right, around the neck. And then you still might see a little bit of the wraparound. And a lot of times on a t-shirt, you can see kind of the seam, like where it was sewn together. So maybe you have some little dots like that around the neck.
Dinosaur.
Little details.
Look at her long neck and look at the dinosaur I made.
Whoa,
I made a
cool.
long dinosaur.
Wow, that's really cool.
Can we see?
Oh yeah, here, do you want to show everybody? Here.
I made a dinosaur.
Oh man, we're getting crazy over here.
Dinosaur.
It's a mommy dinosaur. And then we've got some neck detail in the middle. What do you think, Nina?
No, that's not neck detail. That's her mommy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That is very creative.
Isn't it? Yep. I think so too.
Very interesting. Very. Abby, you should come see your little friend's picture. Abby, come on. Sam.
actually hear you, but she's not listening.
Yeah, that happens, especially about this time, huh?
Yeah.
Jack, how are you doing? We were talking about head and neck with you first. How are your head and necks coming?
Look at my person so far. I'm trying to draw like a really realistic
Yeah.
person.
Oh,
Wait, can you just how to draw the fingers now?
fingers. Yeah, let's go to the fingers.
Like the hand.
Yeah, the hand. Absolutely. So the hand is a tough one, right? So for the hand, when you're looking at your hand, and the main thing with any of this stuff is observation, right? You just look at what you see and start paying attention to the shape. So we have on our hand, a lot of times we get stuck on the fingers, right? Getting all those fingers in there. But I want you to keep in mind
to leave.
palm. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. This will be, the video will be up, Parker, if you want to watch it. Yeah, you can watch the video, okay? All right, so with your hand, if you look at the palm of your hand, that shape is actually super important. It's getting a little windy, guys. I think we're gonna be okay though. Might have to go inside. So with this palm, I want you to think about that when you're drawing. Let me get my paper ready so that I'll show an example. That's okay. We're gonna work on it together. Good job. Good job. So a lot of times when we first draw a hand, we get all the fingers in there. We draw all the fingers, and then it just kind of looks like the fingers are really long and it's kind of wobbly, maybe like claws or feathers. That's a lot of times what we tend to do, right? We kind of get a little bit, not all of us, but a lot of us, that tends to be the problem. If you think about the palm of your hand, let me make sure I got everybody here. So if you think about the palm of your hand, that shape, it's kind of like a rounded, almost like a rounded square. I'm just gonna draw it with light dots there. So if you think about the palm first, then you go in to draw the thumb and then the other fingers. Then it looks a little bit more like a hand, right? If you get that little palm shape in there. So that's something that helps us when we're drawing a hand. You can even really lightly, with a pencil or with little dots, really lightly make that shape. It's basically just kind of like, you could do a circle even, but it's kind of like a rounded square, a square with rounded edges. If you get the palm in there first, that helps us to draw the fingers, and it's tough. It's tough. We're going to talk about hands over the course of the year. We'll keep coming back to it. Because hands and people in general, but specifically hands, are really tough for a lot of us. So we'll keep working on that too. Okay, so that's one thing that I want you to think about, and we're gonna leave that for the hands for today because I don't want you to.
Wait, can I see the what?
I'm just gonna leave this up because it's a tough one, I know it. I'm just gonna leave this up for a little bit so you can work on it. And hands, I'm still working on hands. Hands are still really hard for me, and I've done a lot of practice. So if you get frustrated with it, you can work on a different part of your figure, a different part of your character, and then you can come back to it, because sometimes we just need patience, guys. Sometimes we just need a little more patience. And then if it's still tough, you can put the hand in a pocket. Have your character put his hand in his pocket.
Everyone's frozen.
For who said that?
I did.
Poppy?
Me. Yes.
Because it doesn't look frozen to me. Are you still, is everybody still frozen for you?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, now you're good.
Am I good now? Okay.
Now you're the only one. Jack, Ellery.
Am I good now?
Okay.
Um.
I can still see everybody, so I think it might be your internet connection or something. Poppy, do you want to try going out and coming back in? You want to try like closing out real quick and I'll let you back in? Sometimes
Okay.
that helps to get us back. Okay. Whoops, I was still holding this up there.
Okay, so
And I don't want to cover too much more with this lesson because it's a lot of information. This stuff is it's a lot of information and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed at all. So we might just do one more for today, but I'm just going to leave this up a little longer for anybody who's still working on this. If you want to free draw too in the meantime, you're welcome to do that too before we go to our next little demo. And let's get Poppy back in. Let's see if this helps for her. And then Cameron, no worries if you're done. If you want to see the rest, you're welcome to watch the recording. So I'll have that up by the end of the day. So if you want to see the rest or any other sessions, you can look on the recordings. And aside from that, all good with me. Thank you, Cameron. Whoa, cool, Poppy. Those are so interesting. Okay, I can help you in a moment. Moves. Wow, those are really cool. I love, so is that, you put the pen and then when you turn it, it spins? Is that what that is?
Spiral grass, yeah.
Ah, that's what I was thinking. I had one of those when I was a kid, actually. Cool. Ellery, yeah. Whoa. Wow, look at this. Oh my goodness. Are those tears coming down from that one character? Aw. Wow, look at all the thought you're putting in that. Very interesting, Ellery. Thank you. Do you have anything that you want to say about it?
Can you guys hear me now?
Uh-huh. I hear you a little better.
So the one that hears that me because Winston right there, he's dead. And here's a picture of him. And right here's him looking at his bed.
Wow, Ellery, you are hard at work over there. Thank you for sharing. I love that you have your book all together too. Okay. Let's see.
oh, this one figure for me is probably the middle, drawing the middle finger.
The middle finger, do you mind showing me? Just if you feel comfortable.
Is I always do like too wide or something.
Too wide or something. Whoa, nice, Jack. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you know what I think? So I know the middle finger is longer, but it's actually when you're drawing it, you don't have to make it too much longer. So I think it's just getting a little bit large. So maybe a little thinner, and if you put it closer to that finger that's next to it, that might help a little bit too. It's definitely tough. I know the feeling. I've spent a lot of times doing and redoing and erasing and everything with hands. Celeste, that is so cool. Wow.
Is this good enough for the hand?
Yeah, that's great. I can see your palm Very nice. That's great, Jack. Thank you. You worked really hard on that too. Thank you for showing me. Celeste, let's see. What you had a skeleton character, was that? I like his big smile and I love the way you did those pants. That is really cool. Oh, it is on, Mooks. It's on. Oh, I can't get it off right now. All right, I'm going to do a little quick, just a little drawing with feet too while we're at it with the hands. And don't worry, we're gonna pick this up again. Oh, cool. Don't worry, we're gonna pick this up again. We'll keep talking about this throughout the year with the drawing people. But I'm gonna do a little drawing with feet too. All right, and yes, Ellery. Oops, you know what? Oh, there we go. Yes, Ellery?
I just drew a picture of my cat Hog.
Oh,
He had something maybe,
yeah.
or something happened to him. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I didn't really know him, but I remembered when he had to stick. But he wasn't gonna die. It's just he had to go away.
Oh, I see. Oh man, thank you, Ellery. Sometimes, you know, everybody's a little different, but sometimes it's hard things like that. Sometimes it's nice to draw, or there's certain music we like to listen to. Sometimes it can help us a little bit. So cool. Let's see. We actually, you know what? We've only got a few minutes left. I don't want to throw another demo at you. So I think let's just continue with what we worked on today to close. I'm going to give a little review to show the images up here. Okay. And that way you just can see it one more time. And remember that this video is going to be on your teacher's website. The other ones are already there from the past sessions that we've had. If there's anything that you forget or you want to look at, you can go ahead and look on there too. And then same thing if you have an appointment or you have something, or maybe you're just really not feeling like being on the screen for the live stream, that gives you another option too that you can look at, and you can still get the lesson that way, okay? And feel free.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Feel free to
I'm gonna work on the stuff for this hand tomorrow. Because
Yeah.
it's a little too big.
You know, it's tough, Jack. Sometimes you can get one hand and then it's super tough to get the other one, huh? I run into that problem all the time. Bye, Ellery. Good to see you. I'll see you later. Jack, I'm going to stay on with you. I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording here.